When I looked again, she'd be fine. I did, and her eyes were still gone, gouged out, dried blood smeared down one cheek. I'm not hallucinating. This time, I'm not hallucinating. I bent to touch her neck. The skin was cold. There's a dead woman in my car, a dead woman dressed to look like me. I raced to the house, fumbling with the lock. The door opened. I swung in, hit the security code, then slammed and locked it. I reset the alarms, fished my gun and cell from my bag, and made a call. I paced the hall, waiting for the sound of a car in the drive. As I passed the front room, I caught a movement through the drawn shears. I nudged one aside and peeked out to see a dark shape by the gardens. A big black dog. Exactly like one I'd seen early this morning, 50 miles away in Cainsville. The hounds will come to Cainsville, and when they do, you'll wish you'd made a very different choice today. That's what Edgar Chandler said yesterday, before the police took him away, having arrested him for his involvement in 2 murders that had been pinned on my birth parents. Only a few people knew I'd rented an apartment in Cainsville, and he wasn't one of them. After the media had swarmed, I'd taken refuge in that sleepy little village in the middle of nowhere. A sleepy little village with disappearing gargoyles, vicious ravens, and, as of this morning, gigantic black hounds. A sleepy little village where no one seemed to find it the least bit strange that I could read omens and see portents. I rubbed my arms. I didn't want to see a connection between Chandler and Cainsville. I loved my new town. I loved the safety of it, the community of it, the way it had welcomed me and made me feel like I belonged. I peeked out again. The dog was still there, and it was exactly as I remembered from this morning, a massive beast over 3 feet tall with shaggy black fur. There was no way the dog could have followed me 50 miles, yet what were the chances of seeing another just like it? I took out my phone. As the camera clicked, the dog looked straight at me. Then it loped off across the lawn and disappeared through the trees. A few minutes later, I caught the roar of a familiar engine and ran outside as a black Jag screeched to a stop. The door flew open. A man jumped out, ducking to avoid hitting his head. Gabriel Walsh, roughly 30 years old, I've never asked his age, at least 6'4", I've never measured him either. A linebacker's build with wavy black hair, strong features, dark shades, and a custom-tailored suit, despite the fact it was Memorial Day and he wasn't supposed to be working. He was, of course. Gabriel was always working. When I first met my mother's former appeal lawyer, I'd mistaken him for hired muscle, a thug in an expensive suit. 3 weeks later, I still thought the analogy wasn't a bad one. He did have a reputation for ripping people apart, though usually only on witness stands. Usually. Gabriel didn't even look at my car, or the corpse spilling out of it. His gaze shot straight to me, lips tightening as he bore down. Limped down, I should say. He'd been shot in the leg yesterday, and no, I didn't do it, as tempting as that could be sometimes. "Where's your cane?" I called. "I told you to stay in the house. I only came out when I saw you drive up." A grunt. A quick once-over. Then, "Are you all right?" His voice tinged with reluctance, as if he really hated to ask. Ah, Gabriel. "I'm fine," I said, "and no, I didn't call the police." Good. His shades swung toward the Buick. He started for it. If I'd been anyone else, he would have ordered me to stay back. Not because he wouldn't want to upset a client. Such consideration.